She's usually on time.
It's okay. That's hard to say. I think so.
Okay.
I mean, she leaves for work 20, 30 minutes early, and she sits there in the parking lot ready to go. She's her mother's daughter. We're very on time people. I mean, I know I haven't been on time this last week, but
On time.
it's
Forgot.
not the norm. Yeah. Okay.
Oh my god.
List
Honestly,
all my
we've
sins.
had such a week, guys. I deleted the podcast. We recorded the most fire podcast probably,
Yeah.
I don't know, last week, whatever. It was incredible. And I deleted the cast.
Make your balls tingle.
I know, it was terrible. I literally went on and I actually had a tantrum because the file was like fucking empty. I was like, these fucking assholes. And I was so mad about it. I'm like, get this stupid shit out of my way. So then I deleted it and then I'm like scrolling, looking for everything else. And then I was like, right, that was it. And then the script was like, oh, by the way, once it's, who doesn't have a trash can? I'm sorry, for like at least 30 days. Like, give me a break. Anyways.
I know it gives you the whole warning.
Yeah,
Don't
but
permanently delete.
come on, everybody has a trash can. Like, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, traumatic experience for everybody involved. So here we are, episodes being released
There were
late.
tears.
Yeah, episodes being released late. We're gonna try and do our best to kind of talk about the same conversation because it was amazing. But anyways, welcome back to another episode of Gym Bag Confessions. My name is AnnMarie. This is my amazing co-host who is sacrificing herself to talk about the same thing we talked about last time because I fucked up.
Yes. It's me, Rochelle, the sacrificial one.
Too funny. We got to make this one a short
Yes.
one because we've obviously squeezed it into our schedule. So let's freaking do it. So we want to start this episode
Yes.
out with a great confession. And I love this one so much. So I was hiking with the infamous, mysterious Christy. And
Enigmatic.
yes, she's just so mysterious. I love it for her. And we were, or not hiking, we were doing the stairs. And she was like, oh, by the way, I have a confession for you on the next podcast episode. I was like, girl, do tell. What is happening? And she was like, oh, okay, well, I started taking creatine. For the record, never taken creatine. Don't actually know what happens with creatine. And she was okay for me to share her name because I was like, can I use your name? She's like, well, they don't know who I am. And I was like, well,
I'm going to use
I
her picture here.
unless I tag you on Instagram, share your social insurance number and your address, they don't know who you are. So she's very trusting of me. Anyways, so
Yeah.
she told me she started taking creatine. She's like, oh yeah, by the way, the other day I was like just at home and I was working and she was like, I farted, sat there for a few minutes, and then I realized that you can never trust a fart. And she went to the bathroom and she sharted herself. So that was, and she blames it on the creatine.
She's all, something doesn't feel right.
So literally, I am
Squish, squish, squish.
never taking, yeah, I am never taking creatine inspired by her. I don't even know if it
Yep.
was the creatine or she just showered herself. We don't know.
I think it's Christy's bowels because I take creatine. I've taken it for 3 years. I've never sharded myself.
She
I
was
mean, I've
like,
never sharded myself, period. But definitely not creatine induced.
so now we're just talking
I don't know
trash.
anybody that has.
She's
Yeah.
not even here to defend herself. But anyways, her defense was that because it increases your water retention, that she was just, I don't really know, like
Overcome.
she was overcome with the experience. So you can never trust a fart when you take creatine is the moral of this story. I'm never taking creatine, to say the least. And that's it. So,
So
there we are.
AnnMarie really wants to know, have you ever sharded yourself because of creatine? We need more because she's like, well, I've got 50-50 here. Is it to shard or is it to not to shard? And can I trust Rochelle because she can actually tell me if she sharded or not?
Exactly.
Which is valid.
Literally. Yeah, 50-50.
I'm like,
You say that
have
Eve
I?
didn't shart, Christy
have.
did, so I'm just gonna stay on the safe side of this.
And say no.
Yeah,
Maybe
no.
just take a half a dose. I don't know. Creatine is so good for your muscles.
Really?
I don't know how
But
you
why?
don't take creatine. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing with yourself?
Okay,
for the gains.
I have heard that it's good for
For the
you, but then I've also heard
gains.
that it's like pointless. And then the other part is like, oh, you hold more water. And then somebody said, well, you hold more water doesn't necessarily make you stronger. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I was listening to, what's his nuts? Dr. Mike. Is that what he
I
calls
don't know.
himself?
Yeah. Oh,
He
I
had an
love
episode
him.
on creatine, science shit for like half an hour, and I kind of got lost in the sauce. So I can't tell you what I learned.
Yeah. I'm like, just somebody give me the cliff notes. Yes or no? Damn it.
Okay,
But
so
it's supposed to be really good for your brain, cognitive. And I'm like, give me all the things. My brain needs it. Because
okay,
she's tired.
she is tired. I think that's
She's tired.
the perfect segue for our conversation that we're gonna kind of at a high level talk about again this week. So we touched base last week. Maybe give a summary of what your week was before
I've been in a
struggling to
calorie
lose weight.
deficit for yeah, I'm doing all the things, right? I'm working out. I am doing all my steps. I'm eating very well. I've got my macros dialed in. I like they just deviate within like a few numbers every day. Like it's so dialed in, right? And I'm like kind of losing weight. Like I've lost like what have we been doing this for? 3 months now?
Yeah.
5 pounds. And I'm
Yeah.
like, it should be a little bit more. I'm not talking it doesn't have to be crazy, but it should be a little bit more. And I feel like something's not working. Something is off. Something needs to be tweaked. Um, and so I think you had talked about perhaps you've been in a calorie deficit for too long. Is that how that came about?
Well, it was kind of like, we were talking about like how long you were in a calorie surplus or like at maintenance before you went into a calorie deficit. Because you have to have your metabolism
Mm,
at a place where it's used to eating like higher calories, at least in a surplus or at your maintenance, so that when you do go into a calorie deficit, it's like, oh, actually losing calories. Because I think you should, I don't
yeah.
know how long you're supposed to do it for, but I would think at least like a couple months to get your metabolism into a place where it's used to eating more food. And then you go into a deficit because I feel like
Yeah. Maybe.
for you, you're not a big like eater. Like for you, you can get
Hmm.
by easily without like eating everything. So, yeah. And then we were
Yeah.
talking about like a lot of personal stress. Like you have a lot of personal stress going on in your life right now. And stress is like a huge, 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 huge aspect of like being able to lose weight. Because if your
Huge.
cortisol is too high, you can't, like, your body won't let go of the weight because it's like freaking the fuck out. Your hormones all over the place.
Hmm.
So, yeah, we just kind of talked
Yeah.
last week like about
Yeah.
how maybe you should
And I
try.
had been in a calorie deficit from like September to December. And then I was like accidentally in a surplus in January for like a week, 2 weeks. And then I went back down to a deficit again. So
Yeah,
I've been on a deficit for a hot minute.
that's too long.
And it's so, my body adapts to it so easy. Like it's so, I don't even have to try to be in a deficit. Like I actually have to try to eat. Like this actual current last week, it's been a really hard week and I've been like a mess all week. And I've like not been able to eat. Like just even the thought of food, I'm like, ah. And then all of a sudden I'd be ravenous and I would eat, but I would have like, I probably had like one meal a day. And I would have like some rice cakes and I always had my protein shake and my energy drink in the morning and then like rice cakes or a protein bar, like a Built bar. Oh my God, those are
Hmm.
so good. Um, and then like a meal. And I would have to force myself to eat that, but not good. I don't think I can even check off that I did my macro. Oh no, that's not even my goal this week. Phew, I can still check off my goals. You're
The
like,
evil
damn
laugh. I'm
it.
like, good, yeah. Because if you guys don't
It's
know, Rochelle is
great.
totally winning our challenge. I am currently losing, and
Oh
anyways, it is what it
no.
is, But it's okay. I'm happy
It
about
is
it
what it
because
is.
ultimately I've made the changes that I want to make. But anyways, I think there is a right time to be in a calorie deficit and there's a wrong time to be in a calorie deficit. Like you should be in a calorie deficit when like your emotional world for the most part is like relatively stable, you have a good routine, you're sleeping, you're drinking enough water, you know, you have the time to put in like for meal prep and like I remember in the past when I tried to go into a calorie deficit when I quit my old business and because I was like starting to spiral and I was turning to food to like numb my emotions. And then I was like, oh my God, if I just like, if I just, I need to lose weight right now. And I'm like, I look back, I'm like, that was the worst fucking time that I could have ever tried to be in a calorie deficit or to lose weight. Like just chill.
Yeah.
Like in those moments, it's like, give yourself the time and space to like experience the hardships that you're going through and just get by. Like there are moments in your life when you have to surrender to like what the fucking chaos is that's happening in your life. And so sometimes it takes a hot minute. But yeah, I think like this time why I've been really successful at like losing weight this time is because my world is a little bit more chill. I'm like grounded in so many other parts of my life that are really helping me. So I look back and I'm like, okay, now is the right time to be in a calorie deficit. Before trying to lose weight when everything was like a hurricane was not the right time. So I think that's something to take into consideration too.
That's true. I think maybe sometimes we like focus on changing those kind of things because like when we're in those emotional turmoil moments, we're just looking for any bit of control that we can
Yeah.
find.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And so we're just like, oh,
So true.
I can do this. I can at least do this. I can control this. But really, you're right. You're absolutely right. I've never even thought of that. I remember you telling me that, like, oh, that was the wrong time. I'm like, what does she mean? I get it now.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
get it now. This
Yeah.
is not the right time to give my body more stress because my period's been crazy this last month. I feel like my body's like revolting against me. It's like, what the fuck? My period has been so bad. Like I had it one in the middle of my cycle. Like I had like 2 weeks in, I was bleeding for like a day. And then I've never had that excuse me. And then I finally started and you know how I've told you like lately, like every other month, like 1 month it'll be a horrendous period, which I've never had. I know I'm one of those lucky bitches, but I've always had super light, easy, like, oh, I'm on my period. I didn't even realize, you know? So every other month is like my normal periods, light and easy. And the other month is like, you know, and this month has been great. Like I was like, I even got up to walk and I was like waddling like I was a pregnant lady, you know, because you know how like your tendons get really, your ligaments stretch and stuff when you're pregnant to like make room for your baby to come out. That's how I feel in this period. I feel like like every time I'm walking, I could feel like they're like spreading, like I'm pregnant with a baby. I'm not
Crazy.
pregnant in case anybody's wondering. Tubes have been tied. Not pregnant, but
I mean, I feel like six is enough. Like that's a good place to stop at.
that's a good place to
I
stop.
think if you had a
You never
seventh,
know.
I would have anxiety. I'd be like, girl, I don't know. You're having a baby for me, so I don't need to have them.
I would just give you my baby. Here, take one. So this week I'm going to increase my calories. Like I feel like I'm at a place where I can start. I'm like my hunger is returned now,
Okay, that's good.
so I can start eating again. And I'm going to like slowly add more calories in, so I don't like my body's not like freaking out. Just do some reverse dieting
Yeah,
with the caloric intake.
that's a good idea. I'm like looking forward to that day. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go until the end of May. I definitely have not been perfect. I cannot tick off some of my days. Like yesterday, I was so hungry because you know when you're tired. Well, I don't know if this happens to you, but when I'm tired, my hunger hormones go like way worse. So I feel like I'm hungry even though I'm not.
Yeah,
And so it's like,
yeah.
yeah, because I think I told you I went to Nelly the other day. And by the way, save your money.
Nelly, the concert?
Yeah, the rapper, you know, Slay. Like I was ready for all the good bangers, like Country Grammar, Apple Bottom Jeans, you know, Getting Hot in Her, all the good 80s
And her.
in her. It's not here, it's her, you know? So
I know it's her. Yeah, yeah.
so we were so excited and we get there and I was like, this guy's fucking confused. He's like a washed up rapper who thinks he's Kanye. So it was really weird. And then he had like all these other artists in the show. His nephew was playing. There was one point I turned and looked at my friend. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
where is Nelly? Anyways, I digress. I digress. It
He's
was,
in the back taking a nap.
yeah. So, anyways, I was like, um, yeah, I we had mushrooms that night, so we had a really good time, like, because we were just laughing the entire time. It was tons of fun. But the next day, I got home and I
He
couldn't.
probably was there. You didn't even know.
You're right. It's probably true. And then I couldn't.
He's like, AnnMarie, I'm right here. I'm her. Come here.
Probably. We were in outer space somewhere. We just came back for the moments that we wanted, you know? Oh my God. It was
Shit.
funny. So, anyways, I was so tired the next day. So, I wanted to work out 4 times this week. I only worked out twice. And then I was going to go this morning, but my days just kind of got away from me. I got to work. So, and then I was like kind of being hard on myself. I was like, fuck, I should have been more organized. I should have woke up earlier. And then I was like, who fucking cares? Like, life is about living a little. Like, I work out so consistently all the time. Just chill. Like, I talked to a girl at the gym actually, and one time she was like, yeah, I listened to this podcast, and this girl was like, I do this for like a lifestyle. If I can't take a time off to enjoy my life and to do things that are fun and exciting, what's the fucking point of doing it? I was like, yeah, it's so true. So I've just let myself live life this week and it's been good. I think my body is way more petite than I thought it was. I thought, there's like different body types. I think I'm like the petite one. And then there's ones that like they easily just carry like a lot more like bulky muscle. And my muscles are so much smaller than I thought they were, like leanness wise, like just petite. And I'm like, how do I get bigger fucking muscles? I feel like I'm going to the gym and I'm training really hard. But then also I want to like push myself way harder because sometimes I'm like, oh, I am obsessed with technique. So I love focusing on like having the right technique, but I think sometimes I don't push myself hard enough in the gym. So I know you're really good at that. So I wanted to talk to you last week, and we did talk about it last week, about how to like push yourself really hard in the gym.
Awesome.
It was amazing. So I was like, how do I push myself harder in the gym? Because I think, yeah, ultimately, once you've been working out for like a long time to get the next level gains, you gotta fucking go like absolutely ham. So I was
Yeah.
asking you how you push yourself really hard in the gym because I know you're super good at that.
What does failure look like to you? I think you were talking about, oh, when it burns, I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm good. Burning is just saying, hey, my muscles are working. That's not the time to stop. That's the time to keep going. This is when those reps are going to really start counting. They all count, but when they burn and when you feel like I'm not going to be able to keep going, those really fucking count. That's when you tell yourself, this is the rep that counts. This is the rep that counts. And every rep after that, this is the one that counts. This is the one that's building my quads really good. This is the one that's making my guns work really hard. Because if I just stop at the burn, I'm never going to get stronger. It's never going to grow. It's like that, have you ever seen that cartoon where they're like the two tunnels of the guys digging for gold? And the one stops like right before, and it's like 2 inches away, there's the gold. It's like if we stop when it burns, we're like missing out on that gold. So
Oh,
really
that's
understanding
good.
what does failure look like and feel like? Like if I'm doing curls and I'm just like, hey, oh, curls here. Do. And I go, oh, it's burnt. I was supposed to do 10 reps, 9, 10. I set it down. What I'm going to move weight, but I haven't pushed myself. Failure should be like, you're embarrassed about what your face looks like. You're like, like breathing hard. You don't think you could do it. Your arms are shaking or your legs are just, when you get that shake where you're like, oh. It should feel like that. That's when you know you are fucking putting everything out there. And if your face is just neutral and like you're kind of like you're getting a little bit out of breath, whatever, you're not really pushing yourself to failure. So when I'm working out, I'm checking in with myself, like how is this okay? How many reps do I think I could do at this weight? Is this too easy? Am I really struggling? And if I want to stop, because sometimes I stop because my brain is bored. Like I'm like, I don't want to do this one anymore. I don't like this. This is too many or too many, like
My God, anything with like
I don't
15
I
reps or 20 reps, I'm like, over it.
yeah. Exactly.
I'm
So
bored.
that's when it's nice because if you can't because some exercises are better to do higher reps and
Yeah,
some are
that's
better to do
true.
lower. But sometimes I'm like, if I'm too bored with this exercise or if I'm like, ugh, then I'll just like, okay, I'm just gonna go heavier and just do less reps so I don't have to deal with that boredom factor. But but I check in with myself and sometimes I'll do a set and I go, okay, you kind of wussed out at the end there. Like, not in a rude way, like, well, you could have done more. I could have done more. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to add another set. And this time I'm going to go. And I don't stop until I don't think I can go anymore. Um, like even if it's like I can have like one rep in reserve or like I go to failure. I go to failure a lot or I'll go to like one rep in reserve. But really when you think you're done, you have more. You
Yeah.
always have more in the tank than you think. You just have to get over that hurdle.
I heard something the other
Um,
day and it was like when you think you're done, you have 30% left in the tank. And I'm like, "Oh,
mhm.
that's such a good way of
Yeah.
thinking about it." Like for me, I don't know because I when I get to the burn, like you know how sometimes you'll see people and they work out and then they stop and then they keep going and like during the set. And it's like for me, I'm like, no, no, no. When I'm because if you're letting go of the tension in the set, I feel like you're not getting the maximum burn edge. Do you know what I mean? If people are like, "Oh, I'm going to do 10," and then they stop at 8 and do two more. It's like, "Well, yeah, you just gave yourself more energy." I don't know. So I'm like,
No, that's actually a valid training method. That's like a rest pause. Or it's like a rest pause set or oh my God, what does Dr. Mike call it? It's a legit training method. You can actually get more hypertrophy doing that.
"Oh, so
Some
if it's
studies
like
say.
so if you're like, "Okay, I'm going to 12," and you stop at like 7 because the burn is just too fucking intense, then you keep going is still
Yeah,
fine.
you can just stop, take a breath, and keep going. When
Right.
I do that, I will try to go past 10. Like I'll try to go, oh, if I paused and like if I'm just trying to get to my set goal was like 10 and I'm like at 8 and I'm like, oh fuck. And I take a breath and then I keep going, I'll see if I can get 11. Like I'll
I'll
try
just
to
keep
get
it consistent.
three
I'm
more
like,
instead of the
"Okay,
two more.
I'll just go until I can't go anymore." And then I'm like, okay, I got to, like, I wanted to do 12, but I only got to 10,
Yeah, yeah.
basically. Because,
Absolutely. Keep it consistent. That's why I typically go to failure. I go to like one, I could feel like I could do one more rep and it would be really fucking hard, but I could do one more rep. Um, there's a lot of different schools of thought about how much to failure you go, but for me, like I like to go as close as I can because that's how I know I really pushed myself. But
I think it
rest pause
depends on,
sets
like,
I do on purpose, where I'll do like a full set to failure, and then I do 3 breaths, and then I do as many as I can to failure again. Stop 3 breaths, which is like 15 seconds, and go to failure.
oh, okay,
It's
damn, I'm gonna
brutal.
try
It's
that.
awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
No, I was saying, like, it just depends on the exercise, too. Like, I don't go to failure on back squats because I think that's just, like,
Oh, yeah,
completely
yeah.
unsafe. But, like, or like
Yeah,
bench
yeah.
press, I'm
No,
not going
there's
to go to
specific
failure on those.
exercises.
Yeah. Anything that's, like, where you're not going to get injured, or where you're specifically under the load. Like I love doing leg press to failure
Mm-hmm.
because it's like that's a safe
Yes.
exercise to do to failure. And then it's like I love it's like I get down and then it's like stuck. I'm like I can't get it back up. And then that's when it's like okay, I know I pushed to failure. So I
Yeah.
like the leg press
Yeah.
machine because it gives you lots of good feedback, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Another way I do go to, like to push myself is how I do my progressive overload. So I know when I hit 10 reps or 8 reps, depends on the exercise of whatever that exercise is at that weight. So say I'm doing, um, I've got 3 plates on each side for hip thrusts. Um, and I do 8 at that weight. Now I know it's time for me to move up. And so my goal is, so then I put a fourth plate on each side, or maybe I do another 25 instead or something. You don't have to jump up a ton, but you add like 10, what is it, 10 to 20% more weight when you go up. And then you just start over. So you start and you put the new weight on and you go as many as you can. So if you can only get 4, you can only get 4. And the next time you do that exercise, your goal is to see how close to 8 can I get. So you're like, I have to at least hit 4. The goal is to add at least one more rep, and you're always pushing to that next number. Now, some weeks you're gonna deviate, like your strength is gonna ebb and flow, especially if we're women, with our cycles and stuff. But having that goal in mind of like you're reaching this rep range, you're reaching the top of the rep range. Once you hit that, now you're ready for the next weight and you start that whole process over again. So it always is giving your mind a goal. So I check in with myself before I start the exercise. What was my weight? How many reps did I smash out last time? And so I'll see, I did 7. Okay, I'm going to get 8 this time. And I go and go, and I don't let myself start going, oh, I don't know if I can do this at 4.
Yeah.
I'm like locked in 8, 8, 8, 8. I'm gonna get to 8, and if I can't get to 8, I can't get to 8. um but that's the goal that I'm pushing myself towards.
Because like sometimes I'll just be like, okay, I just need to get one more than I did last week. But I like if you're like, okay, I need to get X, or like just do as many as you can with this weight. I think I'm gonna change my perspective to that. Just do as many as you can in this weight, and then okay, if you totally blow it out of the park, then you can go up in weight rather than
Hmm.
like just getting one more.
Once you set that benchmark, then you are going off of that. But your
Mm-hmm.
goal is to reach that top of whatever that rep range is, 10 or 8 for whatever it depends on your movement. I
Right.
go
Yeah. Yeah.
lower for things like squat.
Yeah.
Like squat, I think I do 6, you know. But I just hate squats. But
I hate squats, but I like they're so like when you do heavy weight in them, you're like, fuck yeah, you feel like such a boss.
yeah, yeah, totally. Another thing of like how I talk to myself in the gym. Like
Yeah, I
I'm
remember you
like
saying that.
drawing on everything that I've ever heard. Like I'll tell myself lightweight before I've got like 5 45s on each side for my fucking hip thrust or something, and I'm like, this it's go time, bitches, and I'm just like, this is lightweight, lightweight. I didn't come up with that myself. I saw somebody else do that.
I love that.
But I'll say this is easy day, easy day. I'm like, I feel like all of a sudden I'm like a Navy SEAL or something. But I know I'm not, but not even fucking close. Like, oh God, this girl. If
Girl, you are
any
a
of
Navy
you are
SEAL. You got 6
listening,
kids, okay?
that's
You are a
right,
Navy SEAL in
bitches.
my mind.
That's right. Can you have a baby? Anyway, I'm talking to the Navy SEALs, not you. Anyway,
Exactly.
um, okay, I'm losing the plot here. But so I psych myself up. I tell myself, oh my God, I'm so fucking strong. I'm so strong. I'm so strong. I got this. I got this. Easy, easy, light. This is. And when I'm in the exercise, especially like if I'm in front of a mirror, or like if I can see, it's especially easy for me to do this with my legs. And I look at the muscles that I'm working and I go, God damn it. I am so strong. I'm like, look how strong your legs are. Look how strong your legs are. Oh my God, I'm so strong. I'm so strong. I'm so strong. Feel it. And I feel the strength in my legs. I feel the strength. I feel my muscles working and I focus on it so hard. I'm like, God damn it, I'm so strong.
I love
Look at
that.
that. I just marvel at it. I marvel at my strength, especially when you have those moments when you can see your muscles, especially like your quads, and you're just like,
Yeah.
oh my God, look at it. And I see this rep is working. And I tell myself, this is the rep that counts. This is the rep that's building that muscle that I want. This is the rep that's building that strength. And I hype the fuck out of myself.
I
And
love that.
it's so funny because in life, I struggle with negative self-talk. And I do that in the gym still too, in certain ways. Like if I look at, I'm getting better. I'm getting actually way fucking better about this. But I'll see another girl that's like, she looks phenomenal, and I'm like, oh. And I look over myself and I go, oh, look at all that cellulite. So I still struggle with it. But when it comes to me lifting weights and training, like my brain is so dialed in. It's
I love
so
that.
dialed in about how, so it just shows me that I can do that in every area of my life. But
Yeah.
like, and it makes a huge difference because when I see my strength, when I'm making eye contact with my strength, and I'm mentally connecting with that strength, I become stronger. That's how I get through squats that I don't like. I'm like looking at my legs. I'm like, oh fuck yes, I'm strong. And I'm saying myself that, those are my best lifts every
Mhm.
fucking time.
I'm gonna
But
try. I'm gonna do like an experiment with myself and just like super be mindful of like really hyping myself up, having really positive self-talk, and I'll just see how my workouts go for like a
yeah.
week. Because I think it's so true. Like sometimes I go into the gym and like I get way too distracted with my phone and it grosses me out because I'm like, what are you doing? Get off
Mm-hmm.
your fucking phone. Like stay locked in. And
Yeah. Yeah.
like the days when I am locked in, like sometimes I think I was telling you, like I had my squats, I PR'd when I was in a calorie
Mm-hmm.
deficit at 165 by 5 and I was like that's fucking crazy. That's like really like a
Mm-hmm.
lot better than my I have been in the past. And so and that's not even eating like nourishing my body properly, right? So I was like, okay, this is fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went back after I took so much time off from Mexico. I was doing like 145 and I was fucking dying. But I also think when I was doing 165, if I look back on that day, I remember being like, let's fucking get it. And exactly like you're saying,
Mm.
positive self-talk. So it's like I feel like I
Yeah.
lost 20 pounds off my squat, but really it was probably just where my head was at that day. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna take note and really
Yeah.
like lock in, like get your head in the fucking game and there and like in between sets being
Mm-hmm.
mindful to be like thinking about the squat, imagining yourself doing it, like using visualization, like all these
Mm-hmm.
positive techniques to
Yeah.
yeah, achieve more strength.
I I feel like when I started doing that for myself, especially when I'm like, what does failure look like? Failure looks like shaking. Failure looks like weird faces and like going like
Veins
fuck,
popping
in the
out.
middle of the gym, Yeah, or
Oh,
like
I'm a
going,
grunter, self-confessed
you
grunter.
know?
That's me. I'm like doing a squat. I'm like,
Yeah, oh yeah, I make noises. Yeah.
I'm like, good thing I have my
I go,
headphones in so I don't have to
fuck.
hear myself.
Yeah, exactly. I'm swearing. But as soon as I did that, and also combining that with those rep ranges and stuff and the self-talk, like all those shifts
Mm.
and taking it fucking seriously is when my my strength gains just went boom, 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 boom. Because
Oh,
I realized I was holding myself back. As soon as you go, I'm gonna go past this burn because this is I don't okay, I don't like this burn. This is burning. This is burning. And as soon as you push through that burn and go until you can't fucking lift that weight and your arms just go, you don't know how strong you are. You will realize you will blow your own self away going, oh shit, I could have been lifting way heavier. I just didn't give myself the chance.
I love that.
You're so much stronger than you realize. So much stronger than you give yourself credit. Even if you've only been in the gym for a fucking week, like, or for 5 years, you're so much stronger than you think you are. There's
Yeah.
still lifts that I probably absolutely squats. I absolutely could push myself more. I freak myself out because I'm so worried. I've seen way too many gym fail videos.
Yeah.
I freak myself out and I'm like, I don't want to. I'm always scared I'm going to like poop myself or something. I can't do
Short yourself. Stay away from the creatine.
I'll be like, damn it, that creatine. Christy was right.
I knew it. I've never taken it.
No, I'm actually scared I'm going to pass out because I get super lightheaded when I do squats.
Oh my
But I
God,
can't get
me
my
too.
breathing right.
Crazy. Yeah.
I can do
But it's like,
sumo squats because it opens up my lungs.
oh,
Or like
I
it doesn't
love
keep them from
squats.
being constricted, I should say. Yeah. I like sumo squats.
Okay, I'm gonna try that. Okay, so I
Uh,
really need to be mindful of like positive self-talk and going past the burn and being so focused when you're in the gym. I think it's too easy to get distracted.
yeah, that's a good point of like, where is your mind in between sets? Let it all
You see people
go and
with
be
like
present.
it's hard because I see people writing it down, right, by hand, and I'm like that's actually probably better like if you keep your phone in your bag. But then I'm like I really like using the Strong app. So,
You could just like put it on do not disturb for all the rest of it and just have your strong app open
yeah,
in
that's
your
very
music or
true.
something.
That's true. Okay. I'm excited. Now I'm like ready to train tomorrow. Slay, slay, slay.
I know. I want to go. I was going to go to the gym this morning. I got to go to the gym now. I'm like, well, I got all this stuff to do. And I'm like, oh, no, we got to go to the gym.
Gotta
My
go.
glutes need to
It's gonna
pump.
make you feel better. Oh my God, I know mine are so flat
Yeah.
after not training for a week. I'm like, ugh.
Oh, where'd
But
your little butt go?
I mean, no, literally. We don't have a She's Making Gains segment, but if you guys want to share your gains with us so that we can celebrate you on the pod, the link is going to be in the description or the show notes below. And we wanted to invite you to our challenge that we're going to be starting very soon here. We're so excited. It's our official free challenge. It's 30 days. We're making it, and it's incredible. So it's all about getting locked in. It's called the Hot Girl Challenge, and the intention is to get you set up with the right habits for you to lose fat, to keep your muscle, or to even build muscle. And we have lots of fun days that are in there. So all of it is going to be a
Yeah.
surprise. We're telling you literally every single day what you need to be doing, and we're just so excited about it. So make sure that you get registered. It's all going to be on YouTube. We're going to have emails to send out to you every day so that it's keeping you
And a
accountable.
group. Have a group
Oh,
as
yeah.
well.
We have a group for you to join. So we have lots of community support, which is going to be amazing. And the best part is that it's free. So make sure you get registered to that.
And you get, no, the best part is you get to spend time with us.
Facts. That is the best part. Fuck the free part. You get to hang out with us.
Free friends.
That is also facts. Oh
Yeah.
my God. That's funny. Okay. Well, thanks for joining us this week, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.